First of all, let's be clear that of all the issues being raised related to smart meters, it is the health issue that my motion is focused on, and I think we should keep keep concentrating on that particular aspect. It's the health issue and a matter of choice for residents, as I think you can clearly see, so that people who have greater sensitivity to the electromagnetic radiation can have the choice in their own homes to not be exposed. That's really the issue here. I don't think we can state, anyone can state with certainty, with surety, that there's no health effect of wireless technology, as our last speaker did. I don't think you can state that, and he himself said there simply aren't enough studies yet. There's no evidence that there is an impact, that's sure. There's no evidence that there isn't an impact either. And we've gone through public debates on various issues over time, and I mean, they've been mentioned before in by today's speakers on issues like asbestos, like lead. I mean, at one time, lead was in the gasoline used by every vehicle, and we realized that it had a health effect, and we pulled back. I think this council acts with great prudence in terms of erring on the side of caution. In an earlier motion today proved that, and I was very happy to support it. I think we need to err on the side of caution, and I think we need to take the statements of people who have come before us today saying, I have health effects. I think we need to take those seriously. Yes, the science isn't there yet. The reports aren't there yet, but the World Health Organization has asked for caution on this issue, and that is all I'm asking for in this motion. Caution in terms of letting BC Hydro know that we feel they should offer some choice to people so they don't have to, within their own homes, be exposed to something that they are stating to us they are sensitive to and is having a negative health effect. So I'm asking you to please support the motion. It's not, we are limited in how we can act, but we are obliged to act under the BC Health Act and the Canada Health Act if we consider that there is a health effect, a health impact, a health concern in our city. I think the evidence brought to us today and by numerous emails points to that health effect. There also was I don't know if they were circulated to council, but quite a pile of individual memos brought forward to City Hall yesterday. 88 individual petitioners, 74 of which of whom cited electrohypersensitivity as one of their main concerns, and many of whom pointed out that they have doctors who are supporting that diagnosis in them. So I think it's prudent for us to act. I'd like us to be speaking here at the council table in support of those citizens who are clearly indicating their concern around the health impacts of the smart meters on their homes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, I want to thank all the speakers that came to us today, whether they be opposed or in favor of smart meters, and expressing to us their opinion on the matter. In this letter, it outlines that the smart meters, in fact, sufficiently and in fact are 50 times less than the safety code limit. I'm just reading you what the letter says.
And so, I'm glad that we have this here today and we're taking a position for our health. But certainly in terms of the research, I think there's more work to be done. It's a matter of whittling out and figuring out exactly what effect, how much it actually adds to the relative risk of cancer as opposed to all the other things that we have here. I mean, for example, if you just read some studies alone, we should be banning Korean restaurants because they have barbecue and pickled vegetables in the same meal. I mean, it can get to that point, which is ludicrous. But so that's why I'm saying is that more research needs to be done, but it needs to be done in a way that looks at all sources of emissions and looking at how much the smart meters add to the relative risk as opposed to the individual relative risk of its own. So with that, I'm glad to support the changes, the strike and replace motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jang. Councillor Appa.
I was going to thank Councillor Jang until he started talking about pickles, but for him making sense, somebody uses often pickle in there. I was going to, Councillor Carr's motion was put a lot of thought in. We had a lot of talking about the health concerns, all these things. That's a hugely complex issue, clearly, both sides of the issue. I think that Ms. Sinclair, who spoke to us today, was very clear in the issue, from my point of view, about the issue of transparency and citizens' rights and human rights and all those things, which to me are at least something we can get our heads around in a way that really helps us, focus. And so, while this, I'm starting to hate these strike and replaces because they seem to happen a lot. This one, in fact, to Councillor Stevenson's joy, I'm sure, especially with Councillor Carr's slight amendment, and I appreciate Councillor Louie allowing that. I'll support this motion as well, and hope we can see it. Thank you.
Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to support this motion as well, and thank the speakers for coming and telling their a lot of really stirring accounts of personal impact and real concerns that were flagged. So I think on the other hand, the smart meters are a really important technology for conserving energy, and I think a lot of this has gotten lost in the debate over how they're being rolled out, over the health concerns. Ultimately, we absolutely have to be more energy efficient in our city and across the planet, and new technologies that enable that are important to adopt. It's important that we do that carefully and ensure that they are serving us well, but we have dramatic future health risks to our entire planet if we don't address the relentless consumption of energy and the impacts that's having on our environment. So I think the technology is important for us to support in energy efficiency and conservation measures. That said, I agree with speakers that there should be an opt-out if there are health sensitivities and concerns. People should have that choice. And again, I think it is about going through good process here, ensuring that we can achieve a win-win and we can conserve energy, be more efficient in our city, and also address individual concerns that like those that we've heard today. So appreciate everyone coming to speak, and Councillor Carr and Councillor Louie for working together to put a next step on the table for us. Thanks.